So in my last video, I talked about communication and how communication is, or has been, or I've understood it maybe in my family, is just talking. But instead, we need to understand what the other person is saying or what we're trying to say. We have to make sure that the person we're talking to is hearing what we're saying and not zoning out or not misunderstanding what I'm trying to bring across. Now, in marriage, this is a key for marriage and any relationship is communicating. Now, for me personally, that's one of the things that I'm going to be working on, and I have been working on, is communicating properly. When I'm needing something or wanting something, I can't just be hoping the other person is going to know what I need or what I want. I need to find a way to communicate that. Now, there's so many things that we need in communication and in marriage. And one of that is what I've learned from my kids, again, is the love language. What is a love language? Well, the language of love is how somebody shows love and how somebody likes to receive love. Now, that's got to be a balance in a marriage, a relationship, whether it's a marriage or, you are living with somebody and they're your partner for, however long. One way to help keep that relationship healthy is to learn the other person's love language. How do they like to receive love and how do they like to give love? Now, that's a balancing act, right? Because me as myself, I have to learn what my husband would think is loving, and he has to learn what I think is loving. And then we need to learn how the other person shows love. So a lot of people that I know and I've talked to just kind of go through life not really thinking about these things, just doing what they think is right and what they think is best, and still not really understanding, the person that they are married to or have a relationship, or whether it's with your kids, maybe with your parents. There's so many relationships out there, friends, I have a new friend who I would consider my best friend. And I'm learning the way that she communicates. I'm learning the way that she likes to hear things, and she is with me as well. We're learning a communication between the two of us, one that both of us understands. And all of these things take time. Now, I never used to have energy, for extra friends, extra people outside of my family. And one reason was because our family was in chaos. And our life was in chaos. And so now, I feel like, I'm hoping I have a little better handle on things. And I don't know, I haven't been diagnosed with ADHD, but I'm quite sure, I've taken the tests online, a variety of them, and everyone has said that I do have ADHD. Now, I used to think that I was a multitasker. I wasn't, though, because I could never fully finish a project or fully, I couldn't do things properly. Like, for instance, I always felt that it would be better if I was a stay-at-home mom, because I knew that if I was outside working, I wouldn't be able to give that proper attention to my kids. Also, having pets and small kids, like toddlers, younger ones, was hard for me because I felt I needed to put my whole attention into my kids and my spouse. But, so that's another thing that we need to learn about ourselves. We need to learn to understand ourselves and be okay with it. And that's what I'm teaching my son, is he needs to learn to understand himself and accept himself for who he is. And that's what I'm learning and have been learning for the past few years, is accepting myself for who I am and not trying to be like other people. Just being me. My heart is always to give and to help others. My heart has always been there to, just help others succeed and cheer them on when they are succeeding. Be a shoulder to cry on when they're not succeeding and when they're going through a hard time. And I'm finding like-minded people like that. And it's really refreshing to have those kind of people to be a part of my life. And I've seen that is passed down to my kids as well. Which I just love. I love their giving hearts. I love that they love others. And I am socially awkward. Sometimes I can put on a front like I'm not socially awkward, like I've got it all together and I feel super comfortable. And sometimes I do, depending on, the groups that I'm with. But other times I just feel awkward and out of place and I don't know where to be, So my most comforting thing to do when I'm in a group, and where I got off on this, I'm not sure. But my most comforting thing for when I'm in a group is to sit down. I could be in a group of people. If they talk to me, great. If they don't, I just observe and listen or zone out and think about different things. I used to feel insecure when I was younger, when I'd be in a group setting. At this age, I don't feel insecure. I just like being there and not being expected to be more than what I am. What I'm saying is, in the love language, we also need to learn to love and accept ourselves. That's the priority. The number one priority is learning to love me. Why? Because if I don't learn to love me, I'm not going to be able to learn to love anybody else. So loving me is priority. Loving me is number one. And when I can love myself properly, I'll be able to love others properly. When I can allow myself to be helped properly, I can help other people properly. I hope this has helped you today. I love you all so much. Thank you for joining me today. And I'll talk to you next time. See you next Friday. Bye-bye.